Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure and vehicle review. Today, we're going to look at McFarlane's Batman 1966 classic TV series, Batgirl Cycle and Batgirl. Now the Cycle is from the actual TV show, and Batgirl here is from the 66 comic spin-off because they don't have the likeness rights to Yvonne Craig, so they do Batgirl based off the comics, and I think this is the third version. We're getting Batgirl Cycle from the show, which is another vehicle. The only one I can think of we're missing is the Bat helicopter, and I hope they make that in the near future. I pre-ordered these in the McFarlane toy store, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, we have Batgirl. She comes with a Batarang, bat cuffs, 66, this is the comic logo. On the back, here she is, here's some other comic characters, and there is her barcode if that helps. And then we have the Batcycle, which is intended to go with Batgirl, although one's from the comics, one's from the show, but it's all just a ploy to be able to get us a Batgirl figure. Batgirl Batcycle, Batman Classic TV Series. No removable parts, no accessories. Here's the barcode. So with no further ado, let's open them up. Alright, now that this figure and vehicle out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. Batgirl comes with a Batarang and some bat cuffs, and the Batcycle, or Batgirl Cycle, doesn't come with any accessories at all. I guess it's sort of an accessory for Batgirl. Before I deal with all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Batgirl from the Adam West 1966 Batman Classic TV series, but not exactly. This is not based off the likeness rights of Yvonne Craig. McFarlane tried to get them a long time ago, but was unable to come up with an agreement of whoever holds her likeness. So they decided to make her based off the 66 comic spin-off, which is clever, and I will admit McFarlane did try to make her the right way first. I know they were pretty public about saying they cannot make Batgirl from the show, they were unable to come up with an agreement, and then shortly after, they made her from the comics. I believe technically the Batcycle is from the show, and Batgirl here is from the comic series. So let's take a quick look at both of them. Now this is, I think, the fourth Batgirl that McFarlane has made from the comic series, and this one is done in her TV show type colors for the most part. She's in traditional Batman colors. We got the blue, the gray, a little bit of yellow. See her face here, she's a cow with black on the front, red hair sticking out, cloth soft goods, really crappy cape. You can see how it's bent up. It's made of that terrible, crappy, cheap material. Single jointed elbow, single jointed knee, very basic looking body, but gets the job done. And then of course we have the Batgirl Motorcycle. Got some Batman symbols on the front. It has a very girly type look to it. So we have this big sort of circle or dome that's going to just, I guess, protect her from bugs and other things that might fly and hit her. The wheels both spin. They're, looks like kind of rubber on the outside, at least slightly. It does not rotate or do anything. The back one also spins separately. Has a little sort of kickstand to help it stand on its own, which is very important for these type of vehicles. It's got this big purple thing on the front, which, I don't know, makes me think of like a dress or something. It just gives it a very sort of feminine look, which is fine, because it's for a feminine character. The light there, no detail whatsoever, not even a sticker. The inside, we got some handlebars, a little rear view mirror in a sort of bat shape. It's got this bow on the back, very girly. Exhaust on both pieces. The engine detail is very soft, but at least it's not blank. So it's a basic vehicle. Fits in good with the sort of detail for the figures in this line. And a closer look at her face and head sculpt, I think it looks really good. Paint job, very well done. It's a little bit too glossy. You can see how shiny it is on her cowl and her lips. The flesh color is good. It's not all one solid color. It looks like we have a little bit shady on our cheeks. Red lips look good. Eyes look good. Eyelashes. The cowl. Paint job is on point, which is surprising because this is a basic line and they usually take a lot of shortcuts. But I guess if you think about it, they didn't have to do any new sculpting parts for her, so they could really sort of focus on the paint job. And a little bit of a closer look at Batgirl's motorcycle. Sculpt is good. It's just all very sort of basic looking. Has this frilly stuff sticking off the top. My biggest concern when I saw this was, how are these retro figures going to fit? They have horrible hip articulation, but you know what? She fits on there, no problem. Here are her accessories. We have the Batarang and the bat cuffs. Batarang, done in a typical 66 type style Batarang, a little bit smaller than perhaps Batman's. And then we have these bat cuffs, and they look just fine. They're made of sort of a hard plastic, which would have been nice if, I don't know, it had actual chains or whatever. But you can't really put them across the villain's hands unless you heat them up, take their hands out, put them back in, which you can definitely do, and they do fit, but that requires a little bit of work. You can't just sort of slide them on. And I don't think any of these retro figures have interchangeable hands, so none of their hands can pop off with ease. Here's Batgirl holding and getting ready to throw that Batarang, and here she is, holding those bat cuffs. Like I said, the cuffs can actually work, but you have to take either a hairdryer or hot water, heat up the villains, pop their hands off, put the cuffs on, pop their hands back on, and then do the same to take them off. And then on to the Batgirl cycle. Now the Batgirl cycle has two action features, and they're kind of weak. Number one, the wheels actually spin. Number two, you can fit a figure on top. There's really nothing else that it does. It has two handlebars. She has one gripping hand, so she'll never be able to hold both of them. And tell you the truth, would not be too surprised if she can't even hold one and sit there properly. And speaking of, here's Batgirl actually sitting in the cycle. And tell you the truth, the way that she's sculpted, her hand fits perfect. She lines it pretty nicely. Yeah, I can sit her down maybe just a little better on there. But for the most part, it works. A lot more sort of spacious and fits like a glove. Much better than I anticipated. When I first heard they were doing the Batgirl cycle, I thought, how? Why? There's no way the existing Batgirl figures are going to fit on there with their hip articulation. But I was absolutely incorrect. They did a pretty good job making it work. Now to look at the differences, reuse, and similarities between this new Batgirl figure for the newest wave next to the McFarlane's first Batgirl figure. These are both based off the comic series, but the first one is in the traditional purple costume from the TV show, even though it's done on the comic spin-off series. So let's take a look. First thing I want to point out, head sculpt is different. This one has the smiling face. This one does not. I mean, she's sort of smiling, but this one has the teeth exposed. So head sculpt is different. Everything else is very similar. The belt is also different. You can see the belt buckle. The actual pouches and stuff are different. Feet, legs, arms, everything else is identical. You can even see the same wrinkles right here. Same crappy cape. So it's exactly the same figure, except different heads, different belt, different paint job. Same Batgirl. So McFarlane has now made 4 Batgirl figures from the 66 universe. First one here is from the comics, second one's from the comics, and these two are actually from the 70s cartoon show. Like I said before, McFarlane did try to make a Batgirl figure based on the TV show using the likeness rights to Von Craig, and the estate holders either wanted too much money or flat out refused, and then they made her from the comics. Now to check out the measurements of Batgirl and the Batgirl cycle. So Batgirl herself is standing about 5.8 inches tall. The cycle to the top of the sort of glass dome, about 5.5 inches tall, and the top over here, about 4 inches tall. And as far as how long the cycle is, about 7.5 inches long. And for articulation, which is kind of basic. Let's start with her head. You can rotate side to side. The hair does go over the shoulder. A little bit of work. Go up and down the tiniest little bit, not much. Shoulders on a ball joint, about 90 degrees. Up, down, around. Single jointed elbow goes in 90 degrees with rotation. Her wrist, similar rotation. Torso is one solid piece, traditional waist swivel. Legs, old school style hips, go forward that far, back about that much. Single jointed knee, it does also have rotation, and that is about it. Here's a look at this Batgirl figure on the Batgirl cycle in the middle of the Batcave. Now let's check out this Batgirl cycle next to some other Batman vehicles. Here's the Batgirl cycle next to the 66 McFarlane Batmobile. Then, next to McFarlane's Batcycle with sidecar. Then, with McFarlane's Batboat. And the most recent 66 Bat vehicle that they've made is the 66 Jokerized Batmobile. This is an Amazon exclusive, came in a 2-pack with the exclusive Joker figure. Now, the only other real vehicle we need from the 66 universe is the Batcopter. That would give us the Batcopter, the Batcycle, the Batmobile, the Batboat, all the main vehicles. I really hope that's on the agenda. Here's Batgirl's Motorcycle, next to Mattel's Batmobile, which is bigger and better than McFarlane's. And here, with Mattel's Hot Wheels Batcycle and Sidecar. This is a 1/12 scale Hot Wheels sort of model, but works great for your 6-inch scale action figures. And now let's check it out next to a couple of other specific Batgirl vehicles. Here's the 66 Batgirl Cycle, next to the DC Direct Batgirl Burnside Motorcycle. And finally, next to a couple of Mattel DC Superhero Girls Batgirl vehicles, Batgirl's van, and a little jet. The jet is super crappy, and the van is kind of basic and crappy, but it can hold 3 or 4 figures, at least on the smallest side of things. Now let's check her out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane 66 figures. Here are all 4 of McFarlane's 66 retro Batgirl figures. And here she is, next to Mattel's version of Batgirl. This one actually utilized the likeness rights to Yvonne Craig. I think this one was made before she passed away. And here she is, next to the previous wave. Wax Robin, Disco Nightwing, Spacesuit Batman, Bookworm, and both versions of Alfred. In this wave, Robin, Bookworm, and Alfred are all based off the TV show. Nightwing and Batman, based off the comic series like Batgirl. Then, next to the wave before that, this was based off the 1977 The New Adventures of Batman cartoon show, which was voiced by Adam West and Burt Ward, which sort of makes you feel like it's in the 66 universe. This wave had Riddler, Joker, Gordon, Batgirl, Batman and Robin. And now, with the wave before that, which was purely based off the 66 comic spin-off, we have Superman, Batman's Robot, Joker as Batman, and both versions of Lord Deathman. They made a couple of exclusive one-offs recently. We have the Blacklight Entertainment Earth exclusive Joker, and then the Amazon exclusive Joker as Batman that came with the Joker as Batmobile. Here she is, next to McFarlane's regular Batman and Robin from the TV show. She looks pretty good with them. Then, next to Mattel's Batman and Robin from the TV show. Scale-wise, she fits in pretty nicely with them too. Here she is, next to a couple of McFarlane DC Direct animated Batgirl figures. A little bit smaller than her. Now let's check her out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how she fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix her with. Since she's a McFarlane 66 retro figure, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my way larger. Here she is with some Jazzwares Fortnite figures, and SH Figure Arts action figures, and now with some Hasbro Marvel Legends and Mafex figures. Here she is, next to a bottle of water. And here she is, next to some Mattel and Mezco DC figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some NECA and DC Direct figures. Next, with some Diamond Select Toys and Jack-specific wrestling figures. And finally, with several McFarlane DC Multiverse Batgirl figures. Overall, it's an okay Batgirl and Batgirl Cycle set, but they're very basic and very crappy, and that's kind of what you expect in a 6-inch retro basic line, but they could do a little bit better. The price of these guys is almost the same as the Multiverse figures, and that makes you expect a little bit more than what you get. The Cycle, it's also very basic. It's cool to have Batgirl. She can ride her cycle next to Batman and Robin the Batmobile, similar to the TV show or the comics. But it's kind of crappy at the same time. Sure, the details are okay. But some stuff just looks bad, like the little frilly stuff on the seat does not look at all like it's supposed to. If I were to rate this entire set, probably both the Cycle and Batgirl, probably about a 6 out of 10. Might give the figure a 6.5. I think the figure as a whole is maybe a little bit better than the Batcycle, but the Batcycle is a little bit bigger and more of a deluxe item, so it's hard to say which one is actually better. Either way, they're good, but definitely nothing better than good. Far from great. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to save the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure and action figure vehicle reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.